man say no the first thing I'm want to talk about on Sumfest. Did Jahshii really style Kartel?
Right, guys, so I'm just coming from Reggae Sumfest. It's now 6:28 a.m., right? Now, this is one of the worst Reggae Sumfest I've ever gone to. Would I go back to another Reggae Sumfest? Absolutely not. I don't care who's performing, where you come from. I would never ever go back just because of my experience.
The artists them who used to say, oh, the man can't bust. That's why in a life we need humble. Everybody partner ready at the same time. Right now, how you feel? Masicka last, you know.
Una bomba clad propaganda machine, our man.
You know, say Aishana carry news from bomba clad Lisa Aishana. You and Lisa I run a Rick Ross through the chat bomba clad world boss. Two no a chat bomba clad Kartel.
Can't take this no more now.
When me say DJ, I don't know what kind of boot that you have on. But me say them not bad like your shoes lace. Them say corner put out or corner go. Nobody, none of them. Hey, Sumfest, it never hard for the people. We have Reggae Sumfest, you understand? Because me can't take the style thing, me a bad boy. Ready now, Jummy?
Ground them.
Hold on. Let me see some phone light. What me a talk about? Phone light! Count up a million the first time I never look back in a car in a reverse. Poverty the first time and the me say me and baddest artist. I mean that.
Them dumb.
Who are you give me the seventh now, my bad friend? Hey, let's have it down, Papa.
I watch you all at Sumfest, you know. But me watch pieces and pieces so far. But me go go to some video as me go. But here the man say no the first thing I want to talk about on Sumfest. Did Jahshii really style Kartel? No, I want to know if a Kartel Jahshii really a show with the pump on stage. Cause right now, I don't know what I'm to Jahshii, you know. Him not no career. Him no want Gaza fans them go at him right now, you know. Cause him they are trying to fight to get back one song right now. He really a try to style or shade Vybz Kartel. I can't that Jahshii just up on Sumfest.
Have people will come down for Sumfest, you know. I don't know how big I can hold it, you know. Because that place is small. Very small place that for all of a festival like that. I guess they must split it up every day. Them keep something somewhere different and all them here. But enough people don't have for Sumfest. Believe you me. Yeah, as I say, we want the people them stay safe, you know. Because you have enough things to do. Don't just give your life on the road because you go to a reggae show. Easy all the youth them attack especially. Because them youth are them wild and ignorant. Yeah man. What we see as caution, them see as excitement. Yeah, them see it as excitement. So man, I'll bet man, you know. 4 or 5 car go down, you know, man, I bet man to see who first reach down. So me I tell you, youth, watch your step, watch yourself, watch your car. And some of them car don't you know, go watch your wheel them, you know. Make sure say the wire show outside at the tire. Yeah, a whole heap of tire now have wire show, they watch it. It's a serious thing.
But where there's a will, there's a way, I know. I got my ways, and you got yours. Together we learn.
I tell you, the show reached 1 week of festivities in a Montego Bay. I tell you, the cane man them and the fruit man them supposed to have beer down there. Don't have enough things to sell. Everything gone up now, price gone up. Yes, them have to make up for them never did that make all the while. Close, woman they on the road, them clothes buy half long, sell half long time. Certain clothes them did bring down like Christmas. A man think of be like Christmas man. Somebody just send down some things, hoping to sell them off during this time. And that is what is happening. Hot girl and all, there's something there, yeah. hot girl them gone ready for Vybz Kartel, me I tell you. This time I hear come like holiday, some fest, the radio come like a holiday time. Believe you me. And then there's some man, hey, music I make, you know, enough music, it's between June and July. And the first me ever get so much music for play since me there hiring a 1 month, you know. Yeah, man, the music them I make enough. Whole heap of them is not really my kind of music still, because some of them sound like a man just turn on a tape recorder and tape it and then decide say I'm going to put it on him hard drive and send it come give you. Hey, you have to do the thing properly, man. You have to do the thing properly. Make the music come out proper. You can't just go in a studio and listen to a beat, because all the man hardly go have music, a studio again with band set up. Him just go with a rhythm and 10 man stand up in there and wait for go up on the same rhythm. And anything goes. Anything goes. You don't have no producer in there. You don't have no man that direct the artist to say if him half key or if him not go in line with the music and thing. And man just want to hear himself on a rhythm. And then put himself on a rhythm and then that's it. Never look back. If you get to him, forget and that's it. We need to really make the thing proper. Yeah, right now the music gone out there, you know. Big. Music gone out there, so presentation and production is the best way to sustain the music, the longevity of the music. We need to do that. A man can't just get up and just feel, say, boy, I'm going to boss, you know, you see me, you know, I'm going to be the biggest artist and all them way there, you know. And when you hear what him say, and how him say it, trust me, man, not even a little toddler, you would have get exposed to that. And that is one thing we know, the artist thing, you know, everybody are artists. Everybody a musician, and somebody are a musician, them just can operate a computer. Because they carry a musician, go studio again, and the computer play everything. And while you have some man who is very skillful with him computer, you have some man just decide, say, I'm going to try a thing and do a thing. And him call a man, and every man feels him tune now go number one, you know. And that's the big thing with it, you know. From a man going to the studio, him feel say what him do are the best thing since rice and peas. Yeah. Him now look back, him now listen back the tune and figure out if no, that no sound proper, that no sound right and all them way there. And him now have nobody inside there coach him. You know, see if you say, brethren, do over the line, you know, or brethren, do the part the back again or something. Man just a do what him want to do. Him just want to do what him want to do, and then when him hear the tune do play now, him say the DJ them a fight against him on the radio. Yeah, man tell you say, boy, I'm out a long time, I give me tune, you know, Rasta, me not hear to play. And me I say, brethren, that tune they not ready for play on the radio, you know, at least in my estimation. It's not ready. Then I'm going to tell man, say, me I fight against him. Hey, Muta, you ask my brethren get tune that day, and he must say, yeah, say it not ready. And we listen to the tune now one bad tune, now it's going to shake up earth. And that's what I tell you, say, if tune ever shake up the earth. And I tell you, say, brethren, it never shake me, you know. It never shake me at all. So I don't know that I going to work out. But putting that aside, most of the tune we get, most of the tune them we get a tune where me personally will play them. Even to some artists we never hear about or know about. Me listen to the music them and say, yeah, that tune, yeah. You know, and some not so out there, but when you listen to what the man has say, you know, say, well, boy, right now, it deserves for play. It deserves for play. So I just tell the youth them, say, anytime them I do the thing them, inside of the studio, make sure you have somebody in there who can guide you. Yeah, man, especially a musician. Especially a musician when know about half key and cars and them something. Then make sure you say you have somebody sit down in there can stop you. Stop the man and say, look here, brethren, you see that's what you just say a while ago. You have to say it a different way and all them way. I just saw. And the music we are dealing with, you know. And the music, maybe it go feed you. Maybe it go make you get a visa for go away and all them way. So we take a break and come forward.
A Kingston cashier has been charged for allegedly stealing money from a business place on Princess Street in the parish between last and this month. Charged with larceny as a servant is 22-year-old Jermaine Roach of Harborview, Kingston 17. Reports are that between June 5 and July 15, money was stolen from the establishment Roach was employed to. It was observed that cash amounting to over $275,000 was recorded as refunded where no transaction had taken place. Auditors discovered that the monies were missing and a report was made to the police. Roach was pointed out to lawmen and he was subsequently arrested and charged. He is to appear before the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Thursday, July 31. The 48-hour curfew that was imposed in sections of the St. Andrew South Police Division has been extended. The extension took effect at 6 last evening and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. tomorrow. The restriction applies to Maxfield Avenue, Marcus Garvey Drive, the Haney River, Kingston Harbour, and the Happy Grove community. During the curfew, all persons within its boundaries are to remain within their premises unless given permission by the ground commander to leave. In news overseas, at least 63 people have died and 290 others injured in Pakistan's Punjab province following heavy rains which began on Wednesday. According to the country's disaster management authority, most of the victims were crushed by collapsing buildings, while the others either drowned or were electrocuted. The BBC reports that authorities in the city of Rawalpindi, next to the capital Islamabad, declared Thursday a public holiday to keep people at home, while those living near a swelling river which runs through the city have been asked to evacuate. The latest deaths take the nationwide toll to nearly 180 since the monsoon started in late June. Children account for more than half of the dead. And finally, Burkina Faso's military rulers have disbanded the country's electoral commission, calling it a waste of money. According to state-run media, the Interior Ministry will handle elections in the future. Since seizing power in September 2022, the coup leaders have initiated sweeping reforms, including the postponement of elections, which would lead to a return to civilian rule. A nationwide vote was due last year, but the junta extended the period of transition to democracy until July 2029, allowing leader Captain Ibrahim Traoré to remain in power and free to contest the next presidential election.
That was a live outside broadcast from Red Stripe Claim Your Crown promotion happening at Sam Sharp Square in Montego Bay. Yeah, they're supposed to pack up. Everybody wants something free. They're supposed to pack up. Okay, we don't have much time, you know. We have to just cut and go through. Here we know. We want to get up highway, you know. Why we are get up highway? Because highway and say muta. I have a rhythm here, you know, who want an elder part. I don't know, I'm getting to be elder, you know. I really know that the elder business, you know, anyway. Him say, we want some elder upon the rhythm here, you know. So I say, give me the rhythm then. So we get the rhythm, and this is what we do with the rhythm. Listen. The people them say, the drought is on, them are going to start restrict water. Yeah, them are going to start restrict water, but I want to tell you something, you know. I will the paper there. Paper there, something about it, so. Anybody ever hear about the bubonic plague? The bubonic plague. Well, you know, the bubonic plague did happen in Europe there, and them claim says it killed about 700 million people, wipe out almost 2/3 of the European population. That was caused by people was not clean. Yeah, and you know, when rat the boat and all them something there, and in them days them used to take them filth, put it in a bag and throw it out through them window. Yeah, we are talking about Europe. Well, them said the Jumpanic play find itself in America, you know. After so much years, so much 100 years or more, whole heap of hundreds of years. No, that is something where we don't want to spread. That is something where we don't want to spread, you know. Because, may I tell you, as I say, 2/3 of European population dead out because of that plague. Worse than the virus, or what them call, what them call the virus, or we just gone again. Anyway, we just say, it's happening in America right now, as we speak. That plague is in America. But we want to tell you about a disease where also find it way amongst people and the whole away susceptible to it. And that is the plastic. And many weeks we talk about the plastic, this and the plastic buckle them. Them get rid of the plastic bag, them want to the plastic buckle them. The plastic buckle them is one of the most devastating thing, especially to the environment and especially to the fish them in the sea. The plastic bag, them eat the plastic and the plastic not dissolve or not stay in them. And you know you're going to eat back the fish. Well, them a claim now say heart disease, death linked to chemical in plastic. 14% of death tied to cardiovascular disease among age 55 to 46 to 64. Heart disease death linked to chemical in plastic. While people them hear that, 14% of the death tied to cardiovascular disease among age 55 to 64 may be ties to exposure to the chemical, I can't pronounce the name, PHTHALAT, phthalate. That is a group of chemicals found in common household plastic that make plastic more flexible. So there's something like them put in the plastic to make it flexible. And them are saying now that this thing is of a high potency of poisonous substance that is causing heart disease. And who do have a plastic bag in their house? People use a plastic cup. May I tell you? Plastic is the thing. Until you go in the supermarket, a pure plastic, you see. Pure plastic. Well, I don't know how we can move from it or sidestep it. Maybe you have to use less plastic. But I don't think we can get over it. As the people put all the coconut oil in a plastic bottle now. Plastic bottle. Yeah. And that not dissolve. Take hundreds of years to dissolve, you know. Plastic. We see soap coming out plastic. We see drinks coming out plastic. All sorts of things coming out plastic. So we just tell the people this is something where you might need to take a stock of. Especially if you be between the age of 55 to 64. Plastic, heart disease, death linked to this chemical in the plastic. Can't say anybody here will say this. Maybe long after you go and you say, Muta did say it, you know, Muta did say it. Well, I don't know if you can stop it, but you can really cut down on the plastic them we use. Yes, it's a really serious thing. Remember when we used to have gourd, we cut the top of the gourd and when we cut the top of the gourd, make it clean out, and we catch water in it. Yes, them thing there, people have plastic plate. Why are you doing the plastic plate? Madness. But that's the way I go now. the Chinese, them control all of them things there. You go downtown, appear plastic this and plastic that and plastic this and plastic that. We think we have another outside broadcast, yeah? Yes? Yes, that was Lady Timmy with the outside broadcast coming from Sam Sharp Square, the red stripe outside broadcast, and call it, if you go underneath if you go underneath the cap, you will see something in there that may help you to win whatsoever them have, but you can't win. And you said millions of dollars them have things that give it to. So, yes, we're going to join her again soon. I don't see no joining her. So, anyway, we want the people them to know that it's a whole heap of people that go down and mob here. Somebody call me and tell me, say, I must keep saying it. Somebody call me and tell me, say, I must keep saying it. It's a whole heap of people that got mob here. And you must watch how not drive on the highway, the north-south highway there. Because sometimes the highway look like it's a drive with you. So, be careful. It's enough days, you know. It's enough days, yeah. Well, but people will come up on Sunday morning, and you know, see, this is the madness there. When people are drive come in. So, we just tell the people them, and people telling me, say, must remind, you know, that the road is no respect of no one. The road not going to Montego Bay as you going there. You understand? So, we just tell the people them that because we don't want the whole heap accident in this time when everybody supposed to feel happy and joyous and all them way there. You know, them way there. We want to stand by for the People's Court, and today we have the guest, the lawyer, Kimberly Dobson, legal professional with over a decade of experience in civil litigation. She was admitted to the Jamaican bar in 2014 and began her career at a law firm where she honed her skills in family matters, personal injury, property transactions, and estate matters, representing clients across the various levels of Jamaica court system. And today we want to talk about the distributing the deceased assets, navigating responsibilities, and beneficiary expectations. So, you know, so that's a very ticklish problem, you know. Very ticklish problem. When they have assets and somebody dead, everybody say they own it. So, listen to the lawyer coming up soon. Meanwhile, we're going to play this song. Judas were a thief in Fred Barabbas. I tell you, the money are not easy, you know. I embrace you, them in my cars. I embrace you, the way I talk, you know. I embrace you, the way I talk. You think 9 easy, just so bad. Okay, so, when at the 4 o'clock hours,
the time on IRI FM is?
The time is 4 o'clock. And as we say, this is part of the program we call the People's Court. And today we're going to talk about distributing the deceased assets, navigating responsibilities and beneficiary expectations. We have Mrs., I don't know what I must say, Kimberly Dobson. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Muta and listeners.
Is Mrs. or Miss?
It is Miss, thank you.
Okay, Miss. You're related to the Dobsons, like Singer Dobson?
Quite possibly, you know, I've been getting asked that question
many times.
Multiple times. Quite possibly. It's a unique name.
Yes. Okay, so first of all, I want to give you an overview of what we're going to talk about here. I guess they fill in what we're going to talk about already. So give us a kind of overview when somebody passes away and the distribution of the assets supposed to take place. As you know, in Jamaica, that can be a very ticklish situation for the members of the family that sometimes it will lead to jailhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Go on. So give a little overview of the whole thing.
Well, when it comes to dealing with assets of deceased, you have two ways within which it can be dealt with. It can be dealt with if you're dealing with through the deceased leaving a will, and what you have to apply for something called a grant of probate to deal with the assets left under the will. And in the other instance, you have where no will was left. And what comes into play is what the law calls laws of intestacy. And with the laws of intestacy, the law will tell you who should get what based on the situation. And in that instance, you would apply to the court for something called a grant of administration. So something I want to leave with listeners is that while someone may die and you're in the house that they died leaving, it doesn't mean it's yours because they said so. You have to go to court and do what's necessary to get either the grant of probate that I just spoke about or a grant of administration to have the estate dealt with and the property dealt with so you can own it.
All right. So I will ask a question from another lawyer already, you know. All right. Suppose you're in the house for years and somebody dead and it's a family, but some of the family, they are foreign. And them decide to never come home back because them supposed to get the house. And them come home now and there's a whole heap of argument about who is living there long and I take care of the house. And who the house supposed to go to because them is the elder one or because mama they tell me say when she dead and me must deal with the house. Where you do? Tell me where you do.
Boy, Muta, there's so many issues in that one question, and for me to give an answer, it all depends on the situation. So, firstly, so let's say the person died, and let's know where the person died, and after the person died, this family member was there without anybody's consent, operating it as their own in excess of 12 years. Then something that you call adverse possession maybe can be at play where that family member is concerned, right? But in the instance where that is not a consideration, where adverse possession is not a live issue, then if the deceased died leaving a will and made certain instructions in the will and the will is held to be valid and the gift to that person is valid, then the property should go to who the will said. But you see, Muta, you said something that I think is a common sore point for persons as it relates to persons dying and making promises before they go. If you die without a will and you made a promise to somebody, not because the deceased made a promise to you before they go, means that it can be held up. It all depends on the situation. So that person would have to go and talk to a lawyer, for the lawyer to ask them certain questions to see if they have a case to say to force the estate to act according to the promise that was made before the person died. So you can't just go to court with a promise. There has to be more to it. So you'd have to speak to a lawyer for the lawyer to determine if you have some sort of case. But the point is that a promise without more cannot be held up.
Okay, so if the person is inside, all right, if the person in the house never pay the land tax, the tax, and the person who come now they'll pay the tax all the while, it don't make no difference?
As I say, Muta, it all depends. But in the instance that you say yes, it's arguable. Because here's what. I have had situations where I have a client and they're telling me they're overseas paying taxes towards the property, but somehow they found out at some point later on that the property was transferred unbeknownst to them. So things happen, it all depends, right? Because people lie.
So that's legal, you can't just transfer.
No, it's absolutely not legal. It's absolutely not legal. You can go to court for fraud. Somebody can take you to court for fraudulently taking their land.
Somebody,
but what should really happen?
Let me ask you something. If I never did pay the tax, and I in the house, and you outside, and you did pay the tax for years, it don't make no difference to your claim?
Yes, it does, because you would be showing that, hey, even though I wasn't physically in the house, you could argue that I always still saw myself as an owner because I continued to do my duty as an owner and paying the property tax while this person was there. And likely that person would have been there with your consent or something, right? So you could use that excuse to say, that defense to say, yes, this person fraudulently took the land from me because I continued paying my taxes and they were there with my permission.
Oh.
Yes.
So is a problem that?
Is a problem.
All right.
So yes.
Yeah, that one.
No, I just wanted to just use the opportunity to encourage listeners to be vigilant about their land. Because even though you're paying the property tax, you still should do, physical checks and visits and still show interest that you own the place, based on the question that you asked.
So the tax don't make no difference with the ownership of the place?
No, it does. That's what I'm saying. It does make a difference.
All right.
Yes, because paying your taxes is part of you showing that you're carrying out your duties as an owner. Duties as an owner.
Responsibility, yeah.
Right.
All right. So let me ask you now, if it's a family thing and the father have some children and the father dead, or the mother have some children and the mother dead, and no will never make, who get the place? The children them are the husband or the wife? Who get the place?
Okay. So based on the laws of intestacy, it provides that the first person who should inherit is the spouse. But if they die leaving spouse and children, then half of what is left is for the spouse and the other half is to be divided among all the children. But in the instance where no spouse was left alive, everything would go to the children and be divided among all the children equally.
The children them is not the children of the man who dead, or the man who alive, or the person.
It would depend on they would have to be accepted as a child of the family between those two spouses.
Oh, the two of them when the two of them alive.
When the two of them was alive, yes, they accepted that child as a child of the family.
Okay.
As their child, right.
What is the case where the man they have a youth out there, so, and the woman did have a youth before, and then them have youth in the marriage now, and one of them dead? How the child them get where them forget now? Who get what and what get what? The
they're
woman
still
have
entitled.
a
Their
child
children.
Eh?
No, once they are a child, whether they had a child in the marriage or outside of the marriage, once it's a child of the deceased, the child is entitled to a share in the estate.
And the child where the two of them have together?
Yes, equally, yes.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, all the children are supposed to benefit from the estate.
You have to say that again, because a whole heap of people don't know that,
Yes, the children are to benefit. Once it's a child of the deceased, I have proven they're to benefit from the estate.
Okay, and if none of them never left no will.
Right. So that's the answer I provided would be in the instance where no will was left and the laws of intestacy would apply. That's what would obtain. The children would benefit.
All right. So I could ask it another way, If the two of them dead, the mother and the father, yeah, and the one, somebody pity them is for the man, somebody pity them is for the woman, and then the children, them have some children. It's the same thing. It have to divide up equally with the two set of children, them.
Well, yes. Well, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying that the deceased, so long as the person that passed is the parent of the child, they're to inherit.
Equally?
The law, yes. All children are to inherit equally.
Okay. All right, so what if them never married now and them have children together?
If they never married, then a different principle applies because then
tell me the principle.
They want to be a spouse, yes. But let's say it's a thing where they feel like, oh, we're living together for the time, right? so I'm a common law spouse. You're not automatically a common law spouse. You'd have to go to the court to apply to be declared a common law spouse so that you could inherit as a spouse from the estate.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Yes.
So it kind of, you see, that Jamaica now, them think that some of the main thing them because chop up and burn down place and all them something there, you know, because this is not known. See, I want to say why from the mother dead, whether or not the mother did have the picnic for the other man or not, are the one who physically born from the mother and the father supposed to get the thing.
Or was adopted and seen as a child of the family.
And you are saying nothing like that?
Pardon?
You are saying is that even if the man did have a child outside and him have a child with his wife, the two of them is equal under the law.
Yes, because they're both children. They're both children of the deceased, or what they say in law is both issue of the deceased. That's what they call it in law, based on the act.
Wow. I don't know, so no people never know that because people say, you're not the picnic, you're not the right picnic, you're outside picnic.
No, once you're a child of a deceased, you're a child.
All right. So we'll take the next case now. If the mother and the father dead, the children them now inherit same way equally. With them outside or inside, them equally deserving half 50-50. All right. If the father dead or the mother dead and write a will and the will go to who she like, which is one of the cousin them, how that work out?
So I'm not sure if I understood the question.
All right, hear the question. The mother and the father are together, them have children together. But the mother have a cousin where she like. Or the other way around, the father could have a brother where him did like. Is it possible for him now, when him dead, to write a will say him want the brother get the house and everything?
Yes. Your will is what you want to do with your assets before you go. So you can make any disposition as you deem fit. You can give it to anybody. Mind you though, even though somebody can, let's say somebody doesn't have a good relationship with their children and decided to do a will to give away the assets to somebody else. The law does have remedy available to that child to contest to say that they deserve some sort of like gift or compensation or money from the estate if they can prove that they were dependent on the deceased. Right, so they would have to just go to a lawyer and a lawyer explore that. But the general point of the question you have asked is yes, the will is yours to make and you can give to anybody who you want to give to, any item that you want to give, so long as it's yours to give.
Yeah, I'm going to take a break and come forward. Take a break. We're talking to Kimberly Dabton, legal professional, and we're talking about deceased and who get what and who don't get nothing and all them something there. You know, I read a case where one little old woman, she about 85. When she dead and them I read her will, she left the will to the dog. You ever hear about it?
No, I did not.
Yeah, she left everything what she have, almost millions of dollars. I think I like about $10 million. She left to the dog. Now, that now got me in Jamaica, but you said the will is the voice of the person who dead. So, them have to submit to that, even though it's a dog.
Honestly, I don't know to answer that one. Because a dog is not a person, so I don't know how that would go.
No, I know that, but them get it down. No, it's a true thing, you know. But I don't know.
I don't know how that one would go. I should look into that one and see what happened after.
Yeah,
it was discovered.
I try to figure out if the person who I read the will who is the what them call it, the person who really will. If them have to go with it, I mean, what a dog do with $10 million?
Right. I can't answer that specific question, but what I can say though is this, just to take it to a broader principle. In the instance where you have a will and it's determined that either the will in its entirety is void, the will is void and doesn't work because for some reason you didn't follow a particular formality in keeping with what the law requires, then what would obtain is that the laws of intestacy would kick in.
All right, for instance, what would be the thing that would cause that to happen?
Well, for example, the will wasn't signed. It was witnessed by two witnesses being present at the same time.
Okay.
So a lot of persons, I don't think they realize that. Okay, so the act requires that you have two witnesses for your will. But both of them should be in the room with you, seeing you sign, and then they sign. So if it's determined, if you can prove that that didn't happen, that's a way to set aside the will.
Okay.
Right. There are other little areas too where, like, for example, a gift can be void if the executor signed as a witness to the will. That's why we encourage that even though somebody can prepare a will on their own, it's usually best to get legal advice because an assistance in having the will prepared so that the will can be held up in court and you get to give the gift that you want to give according to your wishes.
Okay. All right, so me could go over what we say so now. We talk about two people have children separately and some with one another, and them one of them dead, and you say the children them get half same way no matter who them is, and them is part of one.
Right, as long as there are issues. Mm-hmm.
And if them don't married, it still go the same way.
If they're not married,
if the two of them dead and have picnic,
right?
And them never married.
Mm-hmm. Then right, it's the same way because it would apply the basis upon which you're applying is you being the child of the deceased person.
Mm. But I have to prove that because the children they might want to contest that. I say you
would have to prove a birth certificate.
Your jacket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the birth certificate. So part of the application process, you have to submit your birth certificate. So let's say the estate has minors. Yeah. The birth certificate would have to be supplied to the administrator general, who would make her check before issuing the letters of administration, which can allow the administrator to deal with the property. And the reason why the administrator would come into play is because there are minors involved. But where there are no minors involved and there's a straight application to court, yes, the birth certificate would be required because you have to prove to the court that you are, in fact, a child entitled.
Of the person, of one right. of them. Yeah.
Right.
And no matter which one.
Mm-hmm. Right. You have to show the parents' name would be on the birth certificate.
Okay, so that is really sometimes a big problem, you know. This birth certificate.
Sometimes it
because sometimes when a youth born, the father name not up on the birth certificate.
Yes. But the good thing is it can be rectified. At the RGD does offer that service to amend the birth certificate. Which office? The RGD.
Okay.
Register General Department.
Yeah, them can supply the information.
Yes, and provide them with the documents that they need to process the application to amend the birth certificate.
But you know, so what my father and them pick the birth certificate though.
You telling me? You're telling me?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You never know that?
No, I am. You're telling me no?
Yeah, man. I will if my father and them pick the birth certificate. Now, when them have big picnic, the man
perfect
never put
time
them
now.
The birth. Eh?
No, I'm saying perfect time for your listeners to consider what I'm saying of the effects of that missing. So perhaps now is a good time for them to consider going to RGD to amend their birth certificate in that instance.
They don't know so a man walk around with a jacket.
The jacket, true.
And him have the name of the picnic have him name and I don't feel one.
Yes, that is, yes. We've heard about that phenomenon.
When the dead come now, then you realize now, say, him a claim.
Mm-hmm.
And all I'm going to prove, say, him at the picnic. Him not, I mean, all the real father going to prove, say, him at the picnic.
But in that instance, you said the jacket father's birth name would be on the birth certificate, so he could inherit because the name is on the birth certificate.
The jacket father?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel picnic.
Yes, so somebody would have to prove that now to contest it.
But that may I say now the younger person can prove it at the mother.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the mother
and
now.
I'm sure she would want, right, and I'm sure she would want her child to benefit from the deceased, right? So somebody else would have to rise up and say, hey, this is not so, and prove it.
Yeah. That's a very hard thing to prove when a picnic reads so far.
Indeed. Well, unless it's DNA, but then the person will be deceased, so you'd have to...
definitely. Yeah. Anyway, give thanks, sister, give thanks, you know.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
You said something where I'm going to stick with me too, you know. About the death, the two, one dead and one of the picnic them up for the wife, one for the husband, and then now the two of them have picnic for one another, and one of them dead, or go and you say, it's the same share, 50-50, no matter what it is, 50-50.
Right, all the children would, wait, you're saying in the instance that spouse is left along with the children?
All right, one picnic. All right, mother and father, the mother have a picnic outside, the father have a picnic outside, and the two of them are picnic together.
Right,
one of them dead. One of them dead. So you share up the whatsoever you get. You say that all of them get the same amount.
So long as those children are the child of the deceased. Remember
yeah, man.
Right.
The child of the disease. But not, so maybe it's the child of the father, but not of the mother, or the child of the mother, but not the father.
Right. So let's say it's all three children are for the father. The two, oh no, one outside is for the mother. So it would be the father, let's say the father died. It would be his outside child and his inside child that would inherit from him. Because you have to prove that the person that died is your parent.
Yeah, the mother have a picnic outside with a different man. That picnic there not involved with the world.
No, because that person, the father that died, that's not his father. That's not their parent.
Okay, so the marriage don't make no difference in that then?
No.
Oh, is that look at thing?
Because it's an outside. You're right. If it's an outside child and it wasn't a child that was taken in by the family or adopted by the father that died, then no.
Him goose cook.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mama, give thanks.
All right, Musa. Right. And thank you for having me again. Goodbye.
Give thanks. By the way, where your office is?
We are located in Kingston on Old Hope Road, 22B Old Hope Road.
All right, 22B Hope Road. Don't be surprised if you see line there at your office Monday. All right, give thanks.
All right, thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, that was Kimberly Dobson. She said some things where I have to understand, you know. Yeah, I have to understand it because maybe me end up one of them days I have to figure it out. We don't want no complications, and that's it say. Yeah, we don't want no complications. So, we're there with you, as we say, this day is a kind of in and out there, because of what go on in a Montego Bay, and you know it go. Sometimes we have to take that with that and just work it out. We want to remind you that we will be having the cutting edge outside broadcast. The last time we have an outside broadcast at the cutting edge in the night was in Portland. Yeah, I remember that years ago we have a broadcast up at Portland there. And the last time we ever have it outside. So this time we're going to have it outside. Okay. We're going to go to the music news at 4:30. Music news. So sometimes we say some names and people catch on it late. And them like it and them all that's a muta. Would I like you about that name there, you know? We give them name where we're going to know. We did give them already. But because of ones, I say, them remember the interpretation of the word, but them don't remember the name or the spell. So we're going to do it for them. We're going to start with the female name. Female name Zawadi. Zawadi. Z-A-W-A-D-I. Zawadi. Zawadi means a gift has come. A gift has come. Zira. Zira. Z-E-R-A. Zira means reality. Means beauty blooms dawn. Beauty or blooms dawn. Zira. Zina. Zina. Z-I-N-A. Zina means beauty. Zina means beauty. Zaina. Zaina. Z-A-I-N-A. Zaina means beautiful. So that Zawadi, Z-A-W-A-D-I, means a gift has come. Zira, Z-E-R-A, means blooms dawn or beauty. Zina, Z-I-N-A, also means beauty. And Zaina, Z-A-I-N-A, means beautiful. Okay, male names. Sikani. Sikani, S-E-K-A-N-I, Sikani. Sikani means full of laughter. Full of laughter, Sikani. Shumba. Shumba, S-H-U-M-B-A. Shumba means lion. Lion. Sipo. Sipo, S-I-P-H-O, Sipo, means a gift. A gift. And Sudi. Sudi, S-U-D-I, means good luck. So that's Sikani, S-E-K-A-N-I, means full of laughter. Shumba, S-H-U-M-B-A, means lion. Sipo, S-I-P-H-O, means a gift. And Sudi, Sudi, S-U-D-I, Sudi, means good luck. African names. Today I with you, so we reach the pinnacle of the show, yeah. We just want to go through the places. Just go through the places. Yeah? Festival time in the year now, too. So one thing lead to the next. One thing lead to the next. Because you have what them call it, Emancipation Day and Independence Day coming up soon. Okay, so here what we're going to know. You know, so we always feature artists at this time, yeah. Now, there's an artist named, them song is for old people. What am I going to do? But you have to know them as a young person, know which part of the music I come from. Because before dancehall, reggae, ska, before all of them, this exists. This banner come from, his parents come from St. Anne. I think he used to go to Wolmer's. I'm just dead there, about 2 years now I'm dead, passed away. Civil rights activist. I'm very known all over the world. But the well-known thing about him is that he was the first person in the world to sell 1 million copies of any record, the first person. And it's Jamaica him come from. And the person who helped him to know the songs them was a woman named Miss Louise Bennett Coverley. She helped him along the way. So I present to you Harry Belafonte. Yeah, you know, say, a Jamaica first superstar this. Yeah, what a Jamaica first superstar. Sell $1 million record, 1950 ad. Yeah. That's when me a born, he must sell $1 million record. Nobody never do that before him. No man I sell millions of record. Okay, we could see if we can squeeze in now one before they had them.
And now the details. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, is probing the fatal shooting of 3 men by police during separate incidents in Spanish Town, St. Catherine today. The identities of the dead men have not yet been released. The incidents occurred at New Nursery, Delaware City, and Damhead. Details of the incidents were not available up to news time, as INDECOM investigators were still at the scenes. Assistant Commissioner of INDECOM, Hamish Campbell, told RFM News that the police reported that they recovered firearms at each scene. Campbell said no body camera was worn by any of the involved officers. Since the start of the year, 176 people have been fatally shot by members of the security forces. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company Limited, JUTC, is urging members of the public to desist from stoning its buses after one of its units, which was commissioned into service on Tuesday, came under attack last evening in Kingston. The JUTC says about 7:45 p.m., a bus operating on Route 32B was attacked by unidentified individuals in the vicinity of Jerusalem. It said stones were thrown at the bus, resulting in significant damage to the front windshield. The bus was fully occupied at the time, but none of the passengers sustained any injury. The incident was reported to the police and investigations are underway. Corporate Communications Manager at the JUTC, Chantal Thompson, said such behavior threatens the safety of drivers and commuters, as well as undermines the company's ability to deliver reliable public transportation.
Thank God no one was hurt, but we are really appealing to the public to not own the JUTC buses or any vehicles that are traversing on the road because it can cause any accident. This is a long-standing issue that we have been having, and it's interesting that I was actually going to create a little social media campaign really begging our commuters to stop pulling their buses, and then this happened. We do complain that we don't have enough buses on the road, or buses aren't up to par, but when we own our buses, we have to remove the bus to fix the bus, which allows for one area to have one less bus.
Corporate Communications Manager at the JUTC, Chantal Thompson. She said there have been other recent incidents of stoning in the corporate area. The JUTC is reminding citizens that the buses are a critical part of national assets, serving thousands of commuters daily, including students, senior citizens, and workers. Anyone with information about yesterday's incident is being encouraged to contact the police. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness said the official handing over of 93 new buses to the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, is a bold stride towards building a modern, sustainable and inclusive public transport system with the largest single fleet expansion in over a decade. Speaking yesterday at the handing over ceremony, the Prime Minister noted that the investment in national mobility and infrastructure reinforces the government's commitment to a connected and productive Jamaica. He reiterated that the move is part of the practical and people-centered focus of the government's transport agenda.
When I sit in cabinet with the ministers, the policies that we make are not theoretical. They are not from textbooks, though the textbook and academic perspective is very important to ensure the technical correctness of what we do. But every Jamaican can be assured that the decisions we make on their behalf is rooted in the Jamaican experience and in understanding what every Jamaican would want to see for themselves and their children.
The Prime Minister emphasized the fleet expansion is part of a broader plan to increase efficiency, productivity, and economic opportunity for all Jamaicans.
I will say that the investments that we are making in public transportation are designed, yes, to improve the comfort and convenience of the traveling public. They are designed to improve the affordability for the general public. But I invite every Jamaican listening to my voice today to consider that there are higher level objectives, investments we are making in public transportation.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, he cautioned against politicizing the initiative. And Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has described entrepreneurs as stakeholders that are crucial to powering Jamaica's economic growth. Speaking at the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce MSME Linkages Day, the Prime Minister emphasized that MSMEs are the backbone of the economy.
MSMEs are the backbone of Jamaica's economy. They represent over 90% of all enterprises, employ 60 to 70% of the workforce, contribute 44% of GDP, and accounted for nearly 12% of total tax revenues last year. If we are serious about building a resilient, productive, and inclusive economy, we must continue to bet on our entrepreneurs. And that is exactly what this government has been doing. Over the past 9 years, our government has placed entrepreneurship at the heart of national policy. Through the MSME Business Roadshow, we have brought business development support directly to the people, touching over 2,000 MSMEs across 8 parishes, issuing $17.6 million in grant. That's too little, Minister. You have to double that. And linking entrepreneurs with financing, digital platforms, and training opportunities.
In highlighting the growth and advancement of MSMEs in the country, Dr. Holness recalled the devastating legacy of the 1990s financial collapse and the FinSec intervention, which he said broke the spirit of entrepreneurship.
The FinSec era set back the culture of entrepreneurship in Jamaica by decades. But it wasn't only that. There was an unrelenting assault on people who were involved in business, where business people were viewed as exploiters, called capitalists. If you were trying to earn a profit, somehow it was a dirty word. And so, unwittingly, by high debt, by creating an environment of high interest rate where people didn't have to innovate, they could just lend money to the government and the government paid them back high interest rates, which they paid back by taxing the poor. That explains why I stand here and why Minister Hill has to be such a strong advocate, almost like a missionary, in trying to get back a culture of entrepreneurship in Jamaica.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Health centers must be safe spaces for community members. That's the declaration from Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, as he addressed the official handing over of the recently renovated Darlow Health Center in Muckle Clarendon. The renovation of the facility under the Operation Refresh program is part of the government's efforts to make healthcare facilities more resilient and standardized, ultimately improving service delivery and convenience for residents. Dr. Tufton noted that the upgrades are a reflection of the government's thoughtfulness and ongoing commitment to community well-being.
Our health center in our communities must be that place where you look for safety and comfort and cure. Our health centers must be that one place where you are guaranteed at the level of the community to go in a healthy, safe environment where the treatment provides cure, provides prevention, makes you feel better about yourself when you leave. That's a litmus test. That's what we want. You're a member of parliament, your representatives, we care about the community and we want you to use the facility and treat it as if it were yours. We want you to go home and talk about it, that it is upgraded, that it is a better facility, that you have air conditioning, you have clean bathrooms, and when you come, you look forward to coming.
The minister also shared that efforts will be made to assign a doctor to the facility.
One of the things we want to do in the next dispensation is to put a doctor here so that at least for a period of the month, you can come and see a doctor. How the system works, it's not always going to be possible to put every service in every facility. And there are many reasons for that. For starters, you have to have the people to man the facilities. If you don't have enough doctors, or even if you have doctors but you don't have specialist doctors, or nurses but not specialist nurses, the truth is you have to go here, then you are referred or recommended somewhere else. So I want you to see how we mix and match the development is that all health centers will have a minimum standard.
Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton. The Jamaica Hotel and Tours Association, JHTA, is calling for an urgent and comprehensive review of the emergency response system in Negril, Westmoreland. JHTA President Christopher Jarrett is raising concern that Negril's emergency response is on the strain because there is only one ambulance serving the area. In a statement today, the JHTA head noted that in a recent incident, the ambulance response was severely delayed, and the delay may have contributed to the loss of life. Negril accounts for roughly 25% of Jamaica's total tourist arrivals and is also home to hotel staff, suppliers, tour operators, and local residents. A rise in tourism activity, commercial deliveries, and employee transportation have led to significantly higher traffic volumes, and with that, an increase in the likelihood of emergency incidents. The JHTA president noted that while the government has invested millions of dollars into the procurement of ambulances and renovation of the Negril fire station, this is not enough. Jarrett said additional support is needed to strengthen protection for both citizens and visitors in Negril, adding that without dependable emergency services, Jamaica risks not only public health, but also its global reputation as a premier tourist destination. He wants the relevant authorities to ensure that Negril has more than one emergency response vehicle with trained certified medical team assigned, among other things.
They've been told that they have just one ambulance, sometimes two, but they're often in accidents and crashes. And besides the fact that the resources are limited, the replacement and maintenance of them seems to be lacking. So we're really calling for some attention to that region because they've often been neglected, particularly with respect to emergency response. There's definitely not enough ambulances for the region, particularly because of the number of hotel rooms. I think the build-out has far outpaced the infrastructure, specifically in relationship to this matter. And so I think we need to be looking at broadening the coverage so that there should definitely be more ambulances. And perhaps we should also be looking at more medical facilities in order to facilitate the growth that Negril has seen in recent times.
Jarrett said the JHTA stands ready to assist with this endeavor.
And we're talking not just about the tourist sector here. We're talking about the residents and the other stakeholders involved in this space. We need to have enough available resources so that if there are more than one emergencies, for argument's sake, then we should be able to respond appropriately. Well, to facilitate communication between the different stakeholders, if it is that the Ministry of Health needs to be involved in that conversation, perhaps Ministry of Finance, we are prepared to facilitate that conversation.
JHTA President Christopher Jarrett. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade says it has initiated inquiries with the United States Authority in relation to the alleged transfer of a Jamaican national to Eswatini. In a post on her Instagram account yesterday, Portfolio Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith said the ministry is aware of reports in the public domain of the transfer of individuals, including a Jamaican man, to the Southern African country. Yesterday, the BBC reported that the Jamaican man and 4 other people described as criminal illegal aliens were deported to Eswatini. Martini. The BBC added that U.S. Homeland Security Department Assistant Secretary Tricia McCucken said on board the flight were 5 deportees from Vietnam, Jamaica, Cuba, and Yemen who have been convicted of crimes ranging from child rape to murder. Jamaica's Foreign Affairs Ministry said if the reports are confirmed, it will continue its engagements with the U.S. on the arrangements necessary to facilitate the individual's return to Jamaica. It further noted that the government has not refused the return of any Jamaican to the island. The ministry said it will keep the public updated as soon as further verified information is obtained. In light of the projected decrease in rainfall, the National Water Commission NWC will be recommissioning 3 wells in the corporate area. The announcement was made by NWC Acting President Garth Jackson at a special post-cabinet press briefing yesterday. It came after Principal Director of the Met Service, Evan Thompson, revealed that there will be decreased rainfall and dry conditions across the island. Mr. Jackson noted that the Beverly Hills and Cavaliers wells were set to be recommissioned yesterday. The Up Park Camp wells will also be brought back into service.
Today we'll be recommissioning the Beverly Hills well and the Cavaliers wells. Those 2 are going back in service. We have done some checks on those, make sure they're up on both the electromechanical equipment as well as the boreholes, the wells themselves are up to standard to last through the season. Up Park Camp is also being recommissioned, and that will bring about just over 2 million gallons of water additional into service so that we can cut back on the regular abstraction from the raw water impoundments.
He also revealed that a storage tank that serves a number of communities in the corporate area was replaced recently.
We have just completed replacing a storage tank, a 1.5 million storage tank on the Hope property, and that will allow us some operational flexibility in how we distribute water to areas served by the Hope system, which is generally Hope Road, sections of Mona, going back into Ellison Flats and Goldsmith Villa, coming down as far as the JCF Commissioner's office and sections of Wellington Drive, etc.
As for rural areas, the acting president said multiple spring heads and intake channels have been cleaned.
In terms of the rural communities, we have actually completed the cleaning of a number of our spring heads as well as the intake channels. We're also having to consider, although it's very uneconomical, how we treat with trucking and also the ensuring that the wayside tanks are full. And of course, the important thing is to ensure that we can get the message out to our customers and consumers that they need to conserve and that we're doing all we can to reduce the wastage of water, the inappropriate use of water.
NWC Acting President Garth Jackson. Mayor of Kingston Andrew Suebe has suggested that illegal dumps be repurposed to help in the fight against improper waste disposal. Speaking at the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation Public Health Committee meeting on Tuesday, Mayor Suebe highlighted the importance of finding creative ways to address problems.
We also have to look as councillors, if we seem to have some fresh ice. Because sometimes we contain ourselves because the place is dirty at times and we don't think out of the box to see how deep. Clearing some of these dump sites doesn't help the situation, if you understand what I mean. If you don't, make sure you utilize the spots. And one of the ways that we have to do is that how can we create some parks with the involvement of the communities to make sure that this thing works. So you have to understand. So for example, how do you put some tire, make sure dirt in it, that means the public don't come and say it will breed mosquito, and plant some nice plants there and put it up and you make it into a kids play area and those things. We have to look at situations like those.
The mayor urged councillors to collaborate with the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA.
Also, we have to look at issues like the partnership that we can do. One thing that what I do, whenever I'm inviting solid waste to the Vineyard Town Division, I make sure I find a tractor. I pay it up them like a monthly. Sometimes I go to tractor man over 2 months because the 1 month they can't work. But I make sure I give them the tractor. So solid waste will come to you when you have the tractor. You understand? So you have to find a partnership.
Mayor Swaby also called on the NSWMA to install garbage receptacles that are identifiable and can be differentiated from others belonging to commercial businesses.
The last thing I want to speak on now is that, and I have said that they are primarily with domestic, but there's a commercial side about them in terms of in our business district. And I may speak of downtown now, Papede, Crossroad and those areas. And this is a criticism of solid waste. We have to find a solution where if you're in an arrangement with solid waste, you have to have some receptacles, and agreed receptacles identifiable that they can put their garbage in. But whoever are in arrangement with you, they put that out at the front, and who are not in arrangement, put out the front, and you can't differentiate. And then you get stuck downtown with the garbage, collecting those garbage, when by right, they should be in our community clean up the garbage. So that is where we have to have some discussions. I know we have had partnership where we go into the business places and say, show us a receipt, an agreement you have with a reputable service provider to take away your garbage.
Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby.